Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Patricia Stuart of Patricia Stuart Originals. Well, I have a plan, in my head sketched out. But have I worked it out? No, I haven't. So you're gonna watch me do it right on the spot. So as you can see, I have my paints out here. I have my roll-off book. And I have some stencils over here. So let's see what we come up with. I'll be using my 5x7 gel plate, my smaller gel plate today. And I'll be using my golden fluid acrylics and some handmade stencils. And let's see what we can do. And trying to adjust my camera accordingly. Okay, so I taped off the edges here. I wanted a nice clean edge, and I have my other piece of paper tape here so I can bring it over and take my print. Okay, so I'm just going to start with a light background color. So I'm going to use some titanium white and a little Naples yellow, just a little to give a light color. See if we could mix this up. I didn't want too much of a background color, too sharp. Just something to give a little color in the back. And I'm going to pull that. There are different ways that you can do this. Okay, so as you see here, it's a very pale yellow. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to work from my lightest colors to the dark, or try. I have quite a few dark colors here. So I want to put a print of some sort. So let's just start with these circles at the corners first. And I think I'll put the paint on first. So I'm going to go with some teal. This is one of my favorite colors to use. And I'm going to mix a little white, lighten it up a bit. I'll use my little tiny brayer to kind of mix it in here. Trying to get a lighter shade of the teal. Okay, brayer that out. I'm not going too heavy with the paints. There's a circle here, one here. Now I cut these shapes out using cardstock. Just cutting them out randomly. And there you have, you can see the design we have here. I'll be better at showing it to you more toward the end. And it's made some nice lines here for a great ghost print. But I'm going to continue, and I'm going to go in with a little primary cayenne. This is pretty dark, so I may want to lighten that up a bit. Also with some titanium white. See if we can lighten that up a bit. Okay. Again, the fun part with the gel plate is that you just never know what you're going to get. And so I'm going to also put a little bit of these circles in here. Now let's see what we get. I get more satisfaction out of just doing it and not planning or thinking. I just lay things down and see what happens. Ah, that makes a nice pattern print there. Okay. And let me try another color. Let's see. Now I'm wondering what would happen if I use some iridescent bronze. I don't want to go in with a darker color. Well, actually I could just use some yellow. Let's go in with a little yellow. I don't know if I need to use a stencil. I have a nice ghost print underneath. So let's see if the yellow with the ghost print will do anything. And I'm doing very thin layers here so that you can really take a look at the different shades of color and the design underneath. Well, it just gave me the yellow and some lines, and we still see what we've pulled from before. So as a result of that, I'm going to go in with a little phthalo turquoise, which is a much darker color, and I'm going to lighten that up a bit. So I don't want it too dark. I don't know if the yellow I just tried was a mistake or not, but we'll see. I can still see the design that we started with. And so I'm going to go in with this stencil. Let me take a little bit more paint off of here. This is the fun of gel printing. You never know what you're going to get. Okay, so I get like fish scales. But we do see the yellow. We're not catching the design that we had underneath before. And so now I will come in to restore that design. And I will use this blue. I'm not going to dilute it at all. And I'm going to put this here. The circle we had before in the beginning, and let's see what we get. Not bad. You see that pattern. And let's see if we can add just a few of these colors with it. And so I'm going to use the phthalo turquoise, which is a dark color. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Let's see if I can get some circles. Just on the side. Yes, we did that. Okay. Well, my nice clean edge has gotten a little smudged out, but that's okay. I still feel it needs one more thing. It needs something to make it pop. And so I'm going to take off this darker color. Let's get this line back up, my tape. And I think I will use some primary magenta. It's like a very soft red. Wow, that was more than I wanted. Okay. Let's see if we can maybe distribute it a little differently. Not so. I still have some paint on the sides of this brayer. Not so red. Or bold. I don't want it to be but so bold. let's define it just a little bit. That's something you can do too when you're laying down the paint, if you want to define it, square it off, without it looking like you just put it on there. Okay. And so let's see what happens with that. Just a little pop of color. Okay. So here's what we have. I even can use this to do some doodling if I want to, or I can leave it. And here's what it looks like when it's framed out. It's an interesting piece. We see some of what we started with faintly in the background. Let's give you a better look at it. And so that's the kind of thing you can make with just going for it without thinking much about it. Okay, let's try our hands at another one. Okay, so I'm starting with a clean plate. I have another fresh piece of paper attached here. And I'm going to start with a nice Indian yellow hue. Just to give me a color background. And I applied it very thinly. Okay, and there we have these colors also that was picked up on the gel plate, which is pretty nice from the previous thing that was done. Okay, now I have some other stencils that I want to use. So I'm going to use some quinacridone nickel, azo gold. I think when the paint for this case is put on pretty thinly, it gives a better beauty to the print. to tape down my paper better over here. So here is what came out. And we're going to keep going. I'm going to, let's see, maybe just a little titanium white for the next pull. Now it's going to turn a little in color because of what was on the plate before. Which is okay, it'll tone the white down a little bit. And I'm going to try this stencil. I'm always curious to see what we end up with. Okay, so we still have the color behind, but it kind of separated the design of it differently. Just a nice pattern, and it's left a nice ghost print. I'm going to go on top of this with a little permanent violet. I mean, I actually could leave this the way it is. Because I kind of like that. And I don't want to lose the pattern. So, you know, this is a nice pattern. And I don't want to lose that. So that's going to be a keeper. If I was to, let's see, put a frame on it, that's what it would look like. I think I'm going to keep that one. That's something interesting. And I'm going to keep this and pull it with another color. So I'm going to tape this so that as I move it back and forth, it's fun to just play around with the gel plate because you just never know. What you'll come up with. And I have come up with more things that I like when I just play around with it than when I go in choosing purposely, intentionally the colors, the patterns, and all of that. All right, so I'm going to use, let's see, a little iridescent bronze, and I'm just going to pull this ghost print with it, since it's a nice design already on the plate. These The same approach can be used with your 8x10 gel plate or larger. It's up to you. I like the smaller plate when I want to frame a smaller print or use it on cards. The holidays are coming up. I'm thinking about cards and things like that. Okay, so we see the design here. I'm going to use some permanent dark violet, which is pretty dark. Sometimes you can take 2 pulls and get your design in 2 pulls. Sometimes it's 3 or 4. It all depends. Now I'm going to stick with this same stencil. Originally I had it this way. I'm going to turn it the other way this time. Oh, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Now I can stop there. Or I can continue, and if I continue, I would have to continue with a darker, much darker color, or I could go lighter, but I may ruin the look and design. What do you think? Do I want to go over that or leave it? I think I may want to leave it because if I cover it, I'm going to lose the pattern. I will definitely lose the pattern. And we can see the ghost print underneath. This might make a nice holiday card with some writing or some other holiday design in the center. This might make a nice background. Okay, let's try one more and see what we get. This time I'm going to go with my 3x5 gel plate, which is smaller yet. Let's see how something smaller comes out. Okay, this is obviously too much tape. Yes. So I could do that with it. Okay. I have some floral stencils. Let's see what we can do with those. So I'm going to come in with a nice pale background again. Let's see. Magenta red, I'll mix a little Naples yellow with that. Got a little soft, looks like a dusty rose or a salmon color. I can even lighten it up more, but I'm just going to stick with that. So nice light. I'm using just regular, well, this is computer paper. The other prints earlier were on some printing paper, which is slightly heavier than the computer paper. Okay, so we have this nice soft color going here. All right. I'm going to go in, try to mix the colors this time. These florals. They show themselves a little differently. So these are larger stencils here, but I'm just going to use a portion of it. Try to get it in all of the openings. Ah, there we have it. And we get a nice ghost print here, which I'm just going to take a plain piece of paper and pull that. That's pretty nice. I think I like the ghost print better. Okay. Now I want to use a little primary cayenne. And let's see if I can mix that. Maybe with a little titanium white. Go for another floral print. Here's one, I guess I've used on both sides. So if you have the smaller gel plate, you can still come out with some really nice prints. If you have the larger ones, fine. but the smaller one works well, just as well. So that's really pretty. I'm going to turn it around in a minute for you to see. And here's another pretty ghost print. Let's see if I can pick this up. Now this is very simple. Yes, so we get this nice tropical ghost print. I want to do one more pull. See if I can get a little orange going. Not too dark. Just the red and yellow. Bring out a different. And going in with another floral. Okay, let's try these tulips over here. And I think I'll put these more, well, to the top. I don't want the entire thing here. Or do I? Well, let's go for it. How nice. Pretty nice. I still need some more at the top. Let's see if I can pull this ghost print. Yes, that's pretty good too. I should have turned it around this way. So the ghost prints are pretty cool. I want just a little bit more florals here, or just one flower up there. Maybe I'll use a little permanent violet just at the top, not too much. And trying to get a smaller flower up there. I might be able to. Let's see. It might not be as high as I want it to be because of how I have it taped. But it did get a little higher. I move this tape. This is what we're looking at. And the ghost print, let's see if I can now pick it up where it's portion of it. Oh, not really. I don't think that helped. I may have messed it up a bit. Let's see. We can sort of fix that. I'm going to use a little Naples yellow. And just line it up a little. I can get rid of some of the smudge area that I don't like. Areas where it kind of smudged a bit. Okay, so things happen while we're printing. Sometimes we get a good idea, sometimes not. But at any rate, this is what we're looking at. I'm going to cut this down a little. That's usually why I like the clean edge, so that I can have a better view of it. So then if let's see, I don't think I have a frame this small, but you can sort of see it within the frame. And so what I would do with this, I would probably take my white paint pen and go around it, bring out some areas of it. To bring out certain areas that I want to stand out. So I have a Uniball white Signo pen. So I will go around the flower. Which works very well for bringing it out. Go around the blue a little bit. Which makes it stand out. And we have some of these blue petals. Parts of flowers. And there you have it. So let's take a look at what we have, what we started with, and what we ended up with. So we started with this one. It was very nice. using different shapes. And then I think we came to this one next, which also left its nice design, soft. And then we got this one. And we ended with this one. And that was pretty cool. And here is the ghost print for each time that we pulled on that one, which is nice by itself. If I wanted to just, let's see, frame that one, I would just kind of cut the bottom off. It's not as big as this frame, or better yet, this one. That would be nice, just by itself. Nice and soft. You see the flowers, it's very subtle. So if you have any prints, smaller plates, you may want to use them, play around with them. It's really fun to do. So thanks for joining me today.